What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and today we are going to talk about a whole bunch of things that I think everybody wants to talk about. Y'all, we got some drama in these streets. Oh my goodness, all the dramas. That's why I could not just wait. I was trying to scramble to put all this together. I was trying to get all the news. So I apologize for the tardiness, but I got it together. I got most of the stuff together. We're going to talk about the children of Blood and Bone. We're going to talk about Blade. You know, I could not rest. Okay. I could not rest if we did not talk about Blade that's just freshly dropped. So we will talk about that. And then, of course, I will give you guys my review for Spider-Man Brand New Day. We will get to all of that and some other things. So first and foremost, let us see who is here today and give some quick shout outs to those of you that have made it and for those of you that are coming out a little later. And shout out, by the way, to the replay gang. We got Shar in the building. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Come on through, Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for being here. We got the Mod Squad with Kristen Pratt. Hold it down. My man, Only Samke is here. Thank you so much. Who else? Meet Ant. What is going on? Good to see you. Let's see. Who else? USMC. What is up? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming through. Let's see. Lee. What is up? Good to see you. My man Dex is back. Diane is here. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Callow. Appreciate you coming through. Who else? Tanya's here. Appreciate you. What's up, Andrew? Thank you so much. Animals are always cute, except for when they a little mean. When they mean, that's not so cute. But thank you so much for being here. Talented one, I see you. Treese, what is up? Let's see. Did I get? No, I did not. Amanda, appreciate you coming through. JN, what is up? My man Mike is here. Good to see you. Christy, appreciate you coming through. Jesus, what is up? Come on through, Rhonda. What is going on? My man Derek, come on through, man. Been a minute. Tracy, good to see you. Come on, we got the homie just being Zia. Appreciate you. Let's see. Regina's here. I can't say that. I can't say that. I always, I'm from Chicago. I always get messed up. Mr. Hughes, thank you so much. Mr. Hughes, got you. Thank you. I can't get caught in them streets, So anyway, that's a Chicago thing. Steve, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. Tasha, what is going on? Let's see. Tyra, good to see you. Thank you so much. Lamar, good to see you. Appreciate you. Corey, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. Who else did I see? Low Key, come on through. Raymond, I see it. Come on, London. Colin, appreciate your stamina always. Black Corp, what's going on? Nelson V is here. And shout out to everyone that has made it out or will be making out today. I appreciate you. And I want to also give a special thank you to those of you that were able to come out for the Spider-Man Brand New Day watch party. We try to keep it a little tight. So, if you missed it, it's cool. Don't worry. We will be doing an Avengers Doomsday watch party. I'm gonna try and get that together. I'm gonna try and get that. That's a big event. That's it. So we had about a full house, about 80 people showed up. So shout out to y'all that showed up. I apologize. Some people even had to sit in the front seats. It was sold out. So I'm gonna try and get a bigger venue next time, so that way we don't have to have everybody in the front row. We can get everybody nice and spread out. I'm gonna try my best. But thank you to those of you that were able to make it. Let's see. Okay, JN, what you got? I feel it in my spirit. I think the good Reverend E-Man will have a word tonight from the book of Mahershala, chapter 7, verse 7. Thou shalt not play me. We'll see. I don't want to speak ahead of time, but there are some things that need to be said. There are some things that we're going to have to talk about for sure. And man, it's not a good look. It is not a good look, but we will absolutely get there. What is this blasphemy? What? Hey, Mr. I Hate Andor. Please don't forget to watch Widow's Bay. We should cover season 2, 10 out of 10, season 1. Ma'am, I have never, ever said that I hate Andor. Why would you put this on me? Why? What? I never said that. Didn't I give it a positive rating? I said it was cool. I just don't love it. It's fine. It did its thing. I don't know why you put that on me. Why? I don't hate that. There are a lot of things. I would say there are not many things that I hate, but y'all should know by now, when I don't like something, I really don't like it. Okay? Like I've talked about these things. I have. Venom, Fast and Furious, Madam Web, Morbius. Like, these are things that I hate. These are things I'm like, get them away from me. Just no thank you. But I wouldn't put Andor in that. Nah, Andor was cool. It was cool. Anyway, see how they trying to get me going on this. Let's go through some quick updates. I'm not gonna I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna hold y'all too long, but we'll see. But let's go through some quick updates and go through some things that have happened in the news. Ooh, I did not share it. Hold on. Let me get the screen. Bam. Here we go. There we go. All right. So first up, we got Mike Flanagan, who is giving us Carrie. He is going to now write a live action Warhammer 40K series for Amazon. And yes, Henry Cavill, who loves Warhammer. Henry Cavill, boy, that man loves Warhammer. He is going to participate in this. This man is like basically left everything. Like, Superman, what? He don't care. I shouldn't say that. He does care about being Superman, but he is a nerd and he loves him some Warhammer. So the fact that they're getting Mike Flanagan to be a part of that, I think, is a very, very good sign. Mike Flanagan is a wonderful writer and showrunner, so I think that is going to be solid. Next up, I didn't even know. I don't know if people still watch this or not. If y'all do, that's cool. But I have fallen off a long time ago. But it looks like Netflix has not, because they are renewed. They have renewed its deal to be able to stream all the shows in the Walking Dead universe for the next 5 years. The deal now allows for all shows to also stream on AMC Plus starting next year. I cannot even keep up. I don't even know. I left Walking Dead when season 7, Carl, like, I left around then. I don't know what season they're on. I don't know how many spinoffs. Last I heard, everybody got a spinoff. Rick got a spinoff. Michonne got a spinoff. Just, like, everybody. Does Carol have a spinoff? Like, I think it's too much. I can't deal with it. It's too distracting. So if you were a fan of Walking Dead, if that is what you are looking for, hey, you got it coming to Netflix, and there you go. And it was great. Like, man, I mean, the show is fantastic, but man, they dragged that sucker on for way too long. So, for those that love it, hey, it's coming to Netflix. Have fun with that. But I can't do it. Sorry. Next up, and I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this. We've talked about this. Ryan Coogler is doing the X-Files, and that should be coming out hopefully sooner than later. I'm looking forward to this. But Gillian Anderson, Miss Scully herself, says that the script for Ryan Coogler's X-Files pilot is brilliant. I cannot think of a better person to take the helm. I was impressed by how different and yet how quintessentially like an X-File it was. I love all of that. If Scully is giving her, signature on this, if she's cool with this, I'm cool with this, because I know Ryan Coogler is already a fan of this. He already said his mom was a fan of it. And I'm looking forward. You already got some good actors, to play the lead agents in this. It does not sound like this is a reboot. I don't believe that, Daniel Deadweiler is going to play Scully. I feel like they're going to play new characters, and this will probably, we don't know exactly the details, but this will probably live within the universe of the X-Files, and that's okay with me. I am very okay with this. I am very intrigued to see what does a new X-Files look like in today's world, with the internet, with technology, what are we doing with all of that? So and not to mention, you got the whole government already confessing that UFOs exist. Okay, unidentified flying objects. We don't know about the little spacemen. So I just kind of want to see, what do we do with all of that? Where do we go with that? So by the way, if I said Ryan Coogler and X-Men, I did not mean that. That was a slip of the tongue. I meant X-Files. Okay. I mean, X-Men are a thing, but I meant X-Files. By the way, real quick, are y'all watching X-Men 97? Now, I have watched up to episode 4, I think. I have not heard a lot of chatter online. I have not felt the same desire to rush to watch X-Men 97 the way that I did with season 1. I'm not saying it's bad, not at all. I'm just saying I just have not had that feeling of like, oh man, it's Wednesday, I gotta watch. I haven't had that feeling. Again, it's fine, right? Like, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think they cooking with the same sauce that they had before. I have not watched the last episode. The last episode I saw was the Wolverine one, and that one felt okay, but this was my concern. This was my concern when we were going to move away from Bo DeMayo. I'm not going to go into any of that drama or whatever, but Bo DeMayo made almost every episode feel like must-watch television. And I don't think we're at must-watch television level anymore. I think we're at good television, but it doesn't feel like must-watch. I don't know. Maybe I haven't, I'll read the comments later. If y'all felt the same, if you felt differently, feel free to let me know. But I'm just not there. I don't know. Not there. Oh, okay. We got some DC news. For those that care, Booster Gold will still move forward as a TV series with the new creative team down the line. I don't care. Now, I will say it is entirely possible that a Booster Gold TV series, will come and be good. That is possible, because I also had doubts when it was Peacemaker. I was like, Peacemaker, man, forget that. Like, I don't know, and I like Peacemaker. I thought Peacemaker actually turned out to be pretty decent, but Booster Gold, I guess, maybe, but we'll see, we'll see. Do y'all care about a Booster Gold TV series? Is that something that y'all were looking forward to if and when they make it? I don't know. Like, to me, he's a side character. I've already said that James Gunn and the DCU, they have to stop chasing what used to work for Marvel in the past. Marvel was forced to use their B and C level characters, and that was one of the reasons why they were we got the Iron Man and the Captain America. Now those characters are household names, right? And they got lucky with Guardians of the Galaxy being good and taking off. That was fine. DCU, you are not in that position. You are in the position where you can use all your main characters, and you got a whole lot of trust that you need to rebuild with the general audience. I'm not talking about them Snyder fans and the Snyder Bros. I'm not talking about them. If they trust you or not, that's up to them. I'm talking about the general audience that basically did not buy in to the whole Snyderverse vision. DC, y'all have to rebuild that trust. You got to win those people back. And the best way to do that, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, y'all need to fix the Flash, Aquaman. Y'all better set that Justice League back up. You got to do that. Booster Gold ain't gonna do it for you. So listen, good luck. But the more you keep putting all these side characters out, the less patience the average moviegoer or TV viewer is going to have with the DCU. Y'all got to come out with the heavy hitters. You have to. So I don't know. Booster Gold's coming. Feel free with that. I don't know. Let's stick with WB. Y'all remember Barbie was a big surprise a couple years ago when it came out, made $1 billion. I have to admit, I did not see that coming. I thought Barbie was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be as big as it ended up being. Barbie was so good, especially with the marketing, that it even helped Oppenheimer make a whole bunch of money as well. A movie about a scientist making an A-bomb rode the coattails of Barbie and also became popular. So Barbie was absolutely a hit for WB. So there was always talk about like, all right, what's up with the Barbie 2? Like, when are we getting the sequel? What's going on? Well, here we go. Barbie 2, it might happen with Greta Gerwig coming back, to write the story and everything. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Greta Gerwig, they're all in talks to return. But head honcho over there at WB, David Zaslav, is currently refusing to pay what they're demanding, calling it too generous. Now, David. Now, Mr. Zaslav. Too generous? You know what was too generous? You getting all them bonuses during like all, the whole transition and stuff. That's too generous. When your workers and employees don't get a bonus, but you do, that to me is too generous. But denying the Hollywood bankable people, Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie, and the property that made you $1 billion. What do you mean? Like, what are they asking you for? Are they asking you for Robert Downey Jr. money? Now, okay, that could be a problem, but have they not earned it? This coming from the same dude that did like all them tax write-offs of movies that were probably going to be decent. You messing up. Now, I mean, if this was like, I don't know, some other ragtag movie, okay, I understand. This is one of those movies where they probably earned whatever it is that they're asking for. So you could bumble this if you want to, but a Barbie 2, I'm pretty sure will get the people going. It'll get people back in theaters. Man, that's everything about this sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we don't know what they're asking for, but it sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, it sounds bad business to me, but I don't know. That's just me off of how this sounds on the top. Now, speaking of WB, of course, we know that WB and Paramount are Paramount's trying to buy out WB, but it looks like in the meantime, they're actually competing for another property. Heads up for all you scaredy cats out there. Not too scary, but Freddy Krueger is back, and WB and Paramount are in a heated race on which Nightmare on Elm Street remake will be deeper in development before the merger closes. So WB, they have Lee Cronin, who did Evil Dead Rise. They have him in talks to direct. Paramount's film, they want it to be a shot-by-shot remake with the blessing of Wes Craven's estate. My gut, if I had to say like who to take charge of this, I would prefer Warrant WB to win this out. I would prefer WB to have their vision, to let, Lee Cronin go in and do it, only because I don't want a shot-by-shot remake, because if that was the case, I'd just go watch the original movie. Give me something that's at least gonna try to give me something different and better. But if all you're gonna do is just play to the oldies and just do no, just shot by shot, exact script, exact everything, I don't want that. Like, we could just go watch the old stuff. So if that is what Paramount is trying to do, I don't want no parts of it. I would rather somebody take a risk, try something different, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's fine. But I'd rather you try something than not at all. So, I've always been interested in seeing if somebody can make Freddy Krueger like relevant again, because he's kind of like dying out. But I do think that he is a character that you can continuously do different things with, but you do have to be a little bit more imaginative with him. You do have to be innovative with him. So we'll have to wait and see if they can accomplish that or not. We're not going to get off of the Paramount stuff because, as you know, they getting sued all day long by everybody. Four current lawsuits right now. But within those lawsuits, Paramount's like, hey, can we ease up a little bit, please? Like, release. Can we have a little bit? Just stop. Paramount, they want the antitrust trial with the Warner Brothers merger to be scheduled for this November, while the coalition of states, the 12 states, and the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, they're all like, nah, push that to April 2027. We don't want this in November. We want this to go further. Why? Because Paramount will have to pay WB shareholders $7 million per day from September 30th until the deal is complete. That's diabolical. They out here saying, nah, we want you to bleed that money. Bleed the money. Y'all can wait. Y'all gonna pay for this every day. Y'all got all the monies, right? Y'all want to buy WB? Y'all want to sit here and they even paid WB extra money whether the deal goes through or not, because they were that thirsty to make sure Netflix didn't win out in the bidding. They said they got all the bucks. They got the moolah. They got okay, cool. Then the WGA and the other states, they like, cool, sit it out, pay for it. Now, could you imagine if they let this thing go all the way and they paying almost another $1 billion and they still lose? Ooh, that right there might be the biggest fumble I've seen in business. If that happens, if y'all go through all these lengths, y'all went through paying WB all this extra money, y'all done paid WB basically bonus money even if the deal doesn't go through, and y'all sat here and kissed the president's behind. Y'all made a Rush Hour 4 movie because the president wanted it. Nobody else asked you for it, but the president wanted it. Y'all did all that just to lose all that money on top of it. Woo, man, that's got to hurt. That, and y'all getting sued by your own shareholders. You getting sued by your own subscribers. Woo-wee. All right. So what else? Oh, speaking of which, we still on the Paramount thing. Apparently, y'all done messed up so bad that y'all got Marvel coming at y'all. Imagine that. But Paramount has messed up so bad. Y'all, they got Doctor Strange, Wong, and Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming, to write an op-ed basically asking the UK government to block the WB Paramount merger. And they say it's a TV and cinema calamity, would be disastrous for what you watch and what you know. Act now to stop that. Whew. So, just to kind of get a couple bullet points on this, because the article, it's a little bit on the longer side. Basically, they were saying that if the merger goes through, we've seen how mergers gone through in the past. Thousands of people get laid off. Whenever they do these mergers, you can't have two people doing the same job. So you usually have to lay off a lot of people. So like basically, if you don't let this merger happen, you would be supporting a whole lot of jobs staying intact. And another contention that the actors brought up was that you're going to have fewer independent movies come out. Because think about it. When you have less decision makers and creators, so you only have a smaller amount of executives in Hollywood, they will get to pick and choose the independent movies and the documentaries and the topics of the documentaries that get covered. So imagine if somebody wanted to do a documentary about how terrible Paramount was. You think the Paramount WB merger was going to greenlight that? Nah, like you're going to have to go through somebody else, and that's if that even goes through. So when you have less competition, you have more control over the narratives of what gets produced. You think that you're going to get those independent Black films? Probably not as much. You think you're going to get, let's say, the controversial documentaries that might talk about Middle Eastern conflict? Probably not, especially if that certain studio is in cahoots with an administration that doesn't like talk about the Middle East. You're probably not going to get those things. And then the last thing that they raised, which is still a valid concern, is that when you have this media concentration, you're going to have less people now in control of the news that you hear. CBS, CNN, Channel 5, all of that. Those things will all come down to the decision of a very select few billionaires, rather than, and I mean, I'm not trying to say that it's perfect now, but it will probably get worse. Okay, that's not the direction we want to go in, because we want news media to be as free as possible. If the news wants to be right leaning, let it be. If it wants to be left leaning, let it be. But if you keep consolidating, you're going to get news that's only going to be okay with the select few billionaires that maybe are in cahoots or, having dinner with the president or whatever. And you don't want that as a long-term thing. Okay. Again, it doesn't matter what your politics are. You don't want the media companies to be selective with their perspectives that they curate, especially when it comes to your news. You don't want that. Okay. So, man, they got these actors out here writing op-eds and stuff and trying to take them down. My goodness. Okay. Well, guys, that's it for the quick updates. You guys let me know, what did you think about any of those topics? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Right, let's see. Okay. Palm butter. I like that. Palm butter. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Love your content. Appreciate that. Thoughts on Mr. Terrific series that's in development. Also comments on the Children, Blood and Bone movie coming out next year and the controversies, if any. So that latter part we will talk about later. But for the Mr. Terrific series in development, so I've talked about this before. Basically, I'm happy. I love the fact that Eddie Gathegi is going to make more of his presence felt. I think he is a fantastic actor, stand-up dude. I met him for a couple of minutes at an award show. Very nice, very kind. And I loved his portrayal of Mr. Terrific. First of all, anytime you can give me a black man that is like putting his full intellect on display, I'm sold, right? That in itself is already something that I am always going to be here for. At the same time, I have also talked about how there appears to be a glass ceiling when it comes to the DCU. That glass ceiling is for black characters, they will not get solo black led movies. They will get at most a movie with a white co-star. They will get a TV series with a white co-star. They will probably get a black a TV series where maybe they can have it be by themselves and be the solo lead, or it'll be an ensemble where they just so happen to kind of sort of be the lead in that. So there is a glass ceiling when it comes to that, but either way, realistically speaking, I am here for these actors, Viola Davis, what's the name? Aaron Pierre, Eddie Gathegi. I'm here for them to get their shine and their light. And I do think that a Mr. Terrific TV series will be good. I do think it'll be solid. So I'm looking forward to it. I am. But thank you so much for supporting the channel like that. I really do appreciate that. Cat, oh man, you got to go back and look. I did a whole video. You got to. I don't have the time. I don't have. I talked about that all in the last live stream. Now I will release some. I've been very busy, but I will chop up some clips and stuff to talk about it. But just as a quick summation, I am not a fan of the continuation of T'Challa Jr. I am not I do believe that David Johnson is a talented actor, so I do think his acting talent is worthy of being cast, period. What else did I say? I think that's pretty much it, right? Like I don't really like that. Oh, and so yeah, not a fan of the T'Challa Jr. continuation. I do like the talent, but I'm not at the point where I'm going to be anti-black and disparage, disrespect, or not support a black director because I have creative differences of opinion. Like, I'm still going to watch Black Panther. I'm still going to support Ryan Coogler. I'm still going to support the black actors. I'm still going to support black representation on screen, even if I do believe that this was not the best decision in terms of the character. I hope that makes sense. Like, I know that might be hard for some people to juggle, but those are my thoughts overall. And I do like David Johnson as an actor. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. CC, what you got? MCU is done with TV shows after Daredevil season 3. I don't think that's the case. We still have what is that? Vision Quest. Apparently, Vision Quest is still coming out. So they're still doing TV shows for whatever reason. Yeah, like that's still going to be a thing. Now, I do think what's going to happen is we will just see a decrease in the frequency of those shows, which has always probably been the better decision of, like, you don't need a show every 5 weeks, or whatever coming out. It's okay to stop, focus on quality, and then move on that way. DJ, what you got? Saw Spider-Man yesterday. Fire. Ooh, man. I'm glad to hear that. I will be talking about that in my review later on. Let's see. We do have, man, a lot of drama. Now I'm gonna try not to stay on this too long, but man, what is going on out here? Apparently, and to be honest with y'all, I don't really understand what the deal is with Jared Leto. Jared Leto, for whatever reason, this man has consistently gotten roles, lead roles at that. And I don't know if it's just because of talent. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's a bad actor, but the track record of the movies that he's been in have just not been very good, right? Morbius and Tron. Did y'all see the Tron movie? I didn't. I like the original Tron, but like, what? Anyway, and this article is like way too long, so I'm gonna try and summarize this as best I can as well. But apparently, Jared Leto's gotten into some hot water. Okay, 4 women have accused him of alleged, misconduct of the, that persuasion, and assault that took place when they were teenagers. The BBC has seen photos and messages that corroborate the women's accounts, as well as the NDA that Leto sent one woman. Let's see, I had took a couple notes on this. So apparently the BBC has an investigative report and documentary, and it's called Jared Leto, Hollywood's Dark Secret. Okay. Okay. They spoke with 9, or apparently there are 9 women that are speaking publicly for the first time. 4 of them are actually accusing him of like actual criminal, offenses. Apparently this stuff went down between 2002 and 2016. So Jared Leto was somewhere in his 30s and 40s, but the women involved, they were somewhere in their teens, like 14 to 16, 17, in that age range. What else? Yeah, one of them accused him of having relations with him when she was 17 in California. Problem is, statutory, SA under California law is a problem during that age. So that could be an issue. Apparently he was having certain explicit phone conversations with a 16-year-old, and that was the one that he tried to get to sign an NDA, but apparently she refused to sign it, and that's what the BBC had they reviewed it. Another woman said that, when she was 14, he made certain comments about her body, tried to have security bring her backstage. Yeah, this is bad. The BBC has apparently corroborated a lot of these accounts through family members, friends, photographs, text messages, and other evidence and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. And there's more. Like if you watch the documentary, if you read the article, there's a lot more. I'm just at this point where I'm like, I don't see how this man gonna work. I mean, none of this stuff is proven, but when it comes to public sentiment, when it comes to a long list of allegations, I mean, that's a lot to overcome. Like, it was one thing for your box office track record to not be all that great. Now you got all of this. Now you have a whole documentary coming out about you. I mean, we seen what happened to R. Kelly. Because when that documentary, when that whole little Lifetime thing came out with surviving R. Kelly, downhill, right? Like, I don't know if Diddy can ever survive. Now, again, I know those are black men. Jonathan Majors, I know all it takes is one allegation. I'm just saying, bro, you got 10. You got 9 to 10. And your movies ain't doing very well. I mean, I understand there's a certain level of privilege in Hollywood. I'm just saying, can it overcome this? Like, all of this? Whew. Man, look, if Jared Leto continues to get work, I might have to be under the impression to start believing the conspiracy theorists. Whatever conspiracy theory comes out, if somebody says, well, this is witchcraft, if somebody says, man, he in the Illuminati, I'm just gonna have to be under the impression to believe it. Because like, what is this? How? Ain't no way he could get another role. How? Whew. Man, just the things that Hollywood would, they called it the dark Hollywood secret. Like, y'all knew about this in Hollywood? I knew this man was a little weird, but I didn't know it was like this. Allegedly. I don't want nobody coming after me now. But anyway, you guys let me know. What do you think about this Jared Leto stuff? Do you believe it? Are you thinking about whatever you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, because oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look, I know they be getting away with stuff. I know, but good God, that's just a lot. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about Children of Blood and Bone. I'm sure many of you guys have heard about this. We talked about this a little bit last week, where the author, I hope I don't pronounce her name wrong, Tomi Adeyemi, she had come out and she was calling out Amanda Steinberg. She was calling out basically the whole production, like everything. She was like, yo, I'm done with this. I don't like this. Forget all of y'all, right? Like that was basically her whole position, but nobody really knew what was going on. And apparently now she kind of came out with another video and she's saying even more. So we'll go over what she talked about here. And it says here that in the video, I think she dropped this on TikTok. She said, the worst thing I have ever had to live through. I never want to hear about this project again. She says, what I'm about to share is not a secret to the people involved. It's really that I've had to live with for about a year and a half, and everyone involved, at least at the highest level. So she's going all the way to the top. And this is Paramount, by the way. Paramount has been made aware of this reality, and they haven't done anything to make it better. If anything, they've only antagonized me, and I accept that. But I also accept if I don't say something, I think it's just going to be worse. Let me just say this real quick, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I do know it's Paramount. I do know Paramount might have certain perspectives on things given their outwardly alignment with certain political leanings. And with all that to the side, and I'm just going to say this as a critic, as doing this for 13 something plus years. When you release a movie in January, that's usually a sign that you don't believe in this movie and that movie is going to die. That has been my experience time and time again. When you want a movie that has high hopes for awards, you drop it in the fall, right? You drop it in, August and September, because that's around the time when voters vote, right? When you have a movie that you know is going to be a big blockbuster, you drop it around the time people going to be off. So in the summer or closer to Christmas. But when it comes to January, that's where movies go to die. So when you sit here and tell me that this all black, extra chocolatey African movie that I know I was excited for the moment the books came out, and I haven't read the books, but the second I heard a film adaptation was going to happen, you going to tell me that you're going to drop that sucker in January when it's cold outside, when people are coming off break, going back to work? You tell me you want this movie not to succeed without telling me. So that right there, again, I don't know any of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on. I'm just saying, based on my experience, when I see a movie dropped in January like that and it's all black, that lets me know y'all not trying to have this succeed. Because the other sneaky way they get around that is they'll drop it off in February. Yes, Marvel, I know I'm talking to you. Yeah, you done it. You did it with Black Panther. But they'll drop it during February because it's Black History Month, and it kind of, and listen, we usually will show up anyway, but it's not lost on me that y'all dropped this in January. It's not. Now, is that what Tomi is talking about? I don't know, but I'm just saying that's an observation that picked up for me very quickly. Anyway, more she went on and said she alleged that she left Children of Blood and Bone set hyperventilating and sobbing, and that she is still being antagonized behind the scenes. She says, I'm not going to speak on what I endured to make it through the young adult trilogy, and I'm not going to speak about everything that I also suffered through or endured to make the adaptation a reality. I'm actually only going to speak about what happened after I left the set of my own film adaptation, hyperventilating and sobbing. There are many witnesses, so it's not really a secret. I came back to America and suffered such severe somatic pain and so many panic attacks. I knew it was so bad that I would never, ever be able to watch this film, and I made peace with that. Ma'am, what is going on? Sobbing, hyperventilating. I don't even really want to speculate on what could have happened, but to use such language, I feel as though if you're going to be public about that to that degree, you might as well just come out and say it. Because I'm of the opinion, like, yo, if somebody has a grievance or something, like, I'm not just gonna dismiss them, right? Like, to me, this is similar to when they say, believe all women and stuff. And the way I've always interpreted that as believe does not mean everything you say is automatically true. It just means I'm not going to automatically dismiss what you say. If you say, hey, I was hurt, I was victimized, I'm not going to say, get out of here, woman. Get out of here, person. I don't want to hear that. I don't believe. That's not what it is. It's more of like, hey, if you have a claim, if you're saying some injustice happened, I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen to what you have to say, but I'm going to need a little evidence. I'm going to need something to go off of. And unfortunately, she's not giving us that. So, like, I want to be in the corner. I want to fight with you. I want to, sit here and hold whoever needs to be accountable. But we need more information. You got to tell us something. I mean, do you want us to give me a reason? Right? I can't just go off of vibes. I can't go off of feelings. I need to say, like, hey, they did this person wrong. They didn't pay you. They disrespected you behind the cameras. They cussed you out. They called you out your name. Something. So I'm not trying to minimize her experience at all. But I am saying, if you're bringing this to the public, now I'm involved, right? Because it was none of my business before. But now that I'm involved, and now that you are pleading, you're putting it out there that an injustice, something was wrong, that you were wrong. Let me be in your corner and help if there's something to use. Give me something. So the most we can do at this point is use some context clues, I guess. And apparently, I guess we don't have to be detective with this. But it says here, as she continued, but as the movie is being marketed, in the trailer, she says, and as I am still being antagonized behind the scenes, which is where I hoped all of this would stay, it's become apparent to me that reality needs to at least be made known so that you guys can understand how this film, which I worked on to make it a little better for us to be alive, is also the worst thing I've ever had to live through. Ma'am, this does not make it apparent. Nothing is apparent. I don't know what you're talking about. What in the trailer was marketed that, in your opinion, is a direct slap in the face or is antagonizing to you? I don't know. Like, it would be clear, it would be apparent if I saw a bunch of white folks in African garb trying to pretend to be African. That would make a little bit more sense, right? That would be clear as day. I'm not seeing that. So I don't know what the issue is. It says Children, Blood and Bone actor Amandla Steinberg Ademi wrote, Do not ever use my name in an interview or video again. Do not text me. Do not call me. Now, recall we talked about that. Tommy had said that about Amandla. For whatever reason, she got beef with Amandla. Whatever reason. Now, I don't know if the beef is in her casting, because Amandla did get a lot of backlash because she was cast in this role, and supposedly this role was meant for a darker skinned character. Colorism, for those of you that don't know, is a thing. It is a issue. It's been an issue in America with racial dynamics. It's been an issue in Hollywood where darker skinned folks will usually get passed up for lighter skin because that's deemed a little bit fairer or whatever. So I guess her beef is with Amandla at this point. Anyway, Tommy goes on to say, I don't wish to speak on it anymore. I don't know if that's possible. I understand that if I have a public presence and that is that this is a global project, it's probably useless posting a video. I really don't know. I don't do things like this, but I also understand that being silent about it makes the pain a lot worse. I don't have anything. I have to skip through because it's basically the same. I don't have anything to say about the people who made it. I do not care anymore. I'm trying to move on. This video might make it worse, but I don't know how it can be any worse. It does make it worse because we don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So, I don't know where to go with this. I don't know where to go. Hold on one second. It looks like we got a spammer here. I don't know what you're doing, but you're gone. Okay, you're gone. I'm not gonna play that game. So yeah, I don't know what is going on. I don't know why she is spazzing out like this. I hope for the best that she is in a better place. I hope she is getting whatever therapy she needs, whatever help, whatever support from friends, family, whatever. But oh my gosh. So at this point, it's very difficult to have an opinion about this drama because we don't have enough information. It's messy, it's sad. I know the weirdest thing about this is that Amandla, of all people, and we talked about this before, she specifically turned down the role of Shuri in Black Panther because of the fact that, she was like, yo, a darker sister needs to have that. So you do have that aspect in play, right? You do have that, but that is not the case. Why do we have all this spam? What is this? Hold on. Let me get this out of here. I don't know why people are spamming. Why y'all spamming? Y'all don't have no lives? Nothing? No? Okay. Anywho, I don't know. We got spammers. I don't know where the spammers came from, and they got multiple accounts, but hey, if you don't have spammers and haters, you're clearly not doing something right? Anyway, what do you guys think about the entire Children, Blood and Bone situation? What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. Stronger every day. Come on through. Yeah, thank you so much. It is so hard for Black female writers in the publishing world, but also she's a writer and writers can be weird. So far, I'm supporting the movie as well as the books. King hated The Shining. So, yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, unfortunately, we can only speculate, right? I mean, at some point, it almost felt like, are you mad because the production didn't adapt the movie the way that you wanted? Are you upset because there were script changes? Like, I don't know, right? Like, it's really hard to say what exactly was the issue. Are you mad at the casting? Are you mad at the writing? Are you mad? Like, because those things do happen, right? Like, in Hollywood, if you're a writer and if you think that your movie is going to be exactly what you wrote, that's rarely the case, right? You got producers, you got executives, you got all these cooks in the kitchen, and all these different people are going to come out and do different things with your film, and it might not be exactly what you portrayed, right? Like, think about the fact of like when a film gets tested, a lot of times whatever you put out there, you could feel like it's great, but if it don't resonate with an audience, they're going to go back and change some things. And guess what? The things that are changed are probably not going to be what you had originally intended. So that's the weird thing about it. And it is unfortunate that she is going through this in a negative way, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you so much for that. Dang, we ain't got no mods, nobody. I guess I'm gonna have to pay attention to this because I don't know what is going on. This is weird, man. YouTube ain't got no spam blockers, no nothing. I don't want to make this subscribers only, but I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, what else? Oh, we got some Spidey updates. Let's go through some of the Spidey updates here. Of course, you know, Spider-Man Brand New Day came out. But we do have a couple of things that came out through some interviews, Tom Holland, and so on and so forth. So first off, we have, and if you've seen the movie, I know it's still new for some folks, so I'm going to try and still keep things as spoiler free as possible. So yes, my review will be spoiler free as well, or at least I'll do my best to. Just FYI for people wondering. Anyway, we have Tom Holland here saying that they tried to include a lot of the finishing moves from Insomniac Spider-Man games in the Spider-Man Brand New Day. And listen, if you've seen the movie, I think that is absolutely true. Like it clearly was apparent. The moment they brought out those electric batons and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, y'all are absolutely doing what we saw in the game. It felt like a video game. A lot of the movie felt like a video game, and I was here for it because the video game is amazing. Matter of fact, the movie made me want to go back and play the video game all over again. So I love the fact that they did that, and I love the fact, well, we'll get into the review, but I like the fact that we got this confirmation because this is exactly how I was feeling while watching the movie. And yeah, I'm here for that. Now, another thing I've told y'all before, when it comes to Sony and Spider-Man, always, anytime this woman talks, if Amy Pascal speaketh, y'all needs to listeneth, okay? Because whatever she says, it don't matter who, Kevin Feige, it don't matter who talking, it's gonna happen because she gonna want all of this stuff to happen. So Amy Pascal confirms that an animated Venom movie is happening. The guys that are behind Final Destination Bloodline are set to direct. So how do I feel about this? As long as it's not Tom Hardy's Venom, I'm fine with it. But at the same time, can y'all please put Spider-Man in it? Because if you are going down the route that you did with the live action, where Venom just happens to exist, but there is no mention of Spider-Man, you're making the same mistake except in animated form. Please do not waste our time all over again. Just please. Like, it's not difficult to do a Venom series, but just put Spider-Man involved. And it's animated. And in your animated universe, you already have a multiverse going on, so you don't need a whole lot of legwork. You can literally say, oh yeah, we know Spider-Man, he exists, and we, Venom, hate him. Okay, now go on with your adventures. It's not hard. Just don't make the same mistake. Like, oh my gosh, if y'all make the same mistake again, like seriously, throw this in the trash. Because I don't understand what is so hard, especially if you're in animation. If you're in animation, you have even less excuses. You can literally do whatever you want, as y'all been doing with Miles. Man, I just don't make that Tom Hardy's. Please don't. Speaking of Venom, and speaking of a symbiote, Tom Holland says that he is not sure how they would adapt the symbiote suit in the MCU. They did it so well in the game, and I don't know how you make a suit that's similar without having a CG component. Sir, just copy the game. Like, you already copied the moves from the game. What's difficult? You got the comics, you got the animated series, you got Spider-Man 3, and you got the game. What do you mean you don't know how to do it? What do you mean? Y'all got all the freaking source material in the world. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. You know, matter of fact, you could just literally, put Spider-Man in Secret Wars and just copy from the original comic. That's how he got it. He just happened to go off-world and he happened to get a symbiote on an alien planet, and that was it. You could just do that. Like, what are you talking about? I feel like Tom Holland's lying. I feel like he's lying. Ain't no way you, sir, of all people that love Spider-Man and all that, ain't no way you don't know how to bring the symbiote into the MCU. Ain't no way. Especially after that what was that? In No Way Home, where we saw the little drip symbiote or whatever. What do you mean? Just had a thing come in contact with you and that's it. Why are y'all making this more complicated than it needs to be? Seriously. It's an alien. It jumps from host to host. Like, what are we doing here? All right. Yes, he's definitely lying. He's definitely lying. And that to me lets me know they already have a plan on how to bring the symbiote in. That's what that lets me know. Okay. Stop playing, sir. Stop playing. Now, I do like this news from Tom Holland. Now, he said this before. He said that he would try to make this happen. And I am fully supportive of this happening. But you got Tom Holland once again saying that they've already got a plan for him passing on the mantle of Spider-Man in the future. He says, I have a really clear vision for the passing on the baton. I think it's really exciting. What's wild to me is Tom Holland keeps talking like he is Kevin Feige. Tom Holland keeps talking about how he got plans, how he got a vision, how he want this, he want that. This man keeps talking like he an executive producer in the franchise. Now, I'm just saying, now, here's the thing. He has some sway, of course, right? He was the one that got Kevin Feige and Tom Rothman of Sony to get together and, get the ball rolling. But I'm just saying, my man talking like he got a whole different title now. Where is it? Did I miss this? Did he get a promotion? These are the questions that need to be asked. This is why I get frustrated when I be reading these articles and I don't get the opportunity to ask these questions. Where are the people? I know some of my journalist friends are watching. Listen, E-Man does not get the access that he used to. That's okay. Y'all can take these questions for the free because I need them to be asked. Who told Tom Holland he Kevin Feige Jr.? Somebody ask him that question, please. What do you mean you got plans? Sir, when did you become an executive at Disney or Sony? Did that happen? Did I miss it in the credits? Somebody ask that follow-up question, please. But I'm in for this. If you're going to do, I don't care what it takes. If Miles Morales live action is coming to theater, listen, this is what I be wearing to Spider-Man, okay? When I go to Spider-Man, this is the only Spider-Man I recognize. That is no disrespect to Peter Parker. Peter Parker was my favorite Spider-Man. Actually, it was Ben Reilly, because Scarlet Spider I love that costume. But Peter Parker is the OG for sure, all day. But the moment I found out we had a black and Puerto Rican, black and Puerto Rican Spider-Man, that's it. That's the new, listen, that's my new team right now. Okay. So shout out to Peter Parker. He the OG forever. But once we had Miles, it was over with. Okay. It was Team Miles for me all day. This is what I wear to all the Spider-Man movies. Okay. It's the same thing with Superman. The second you sat here and told me that we had a black Superman, guess what? That's on my chest transformed real fast. Sorry, but not sorry. That's how representation works. When you finally get the representation that you can connect with, you're going to rep that. That's no disrespect to the others. It's just like, yo, I see myself in this character more than I do with the others. That's where I'm at. Shout out to Val Zod, you know. But anyway, uh, is that it for the Spider-Man? Yes, that is it for the Spider-Man. Y'all let me know. How do you feel about all these Spider-Man updates? Are you looking forward to a Venom animated series or whatever? How do you feel about the of Tom Holland? Apparently got a producer hat on now. Do you like the vision? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, Regina, this is about Children, Blood, and Bone. I wonder if marketing the director so much is, you know what? I don't know, because in the article, they did say that they reached out to Gina Prince Bythewood and who directed it and also co-wrote Children, Blood, and Bone. No comment. So this is going to be one of those things that, unless somebody leaks some information, I don't think we will ever hear anything about it until way after the movie comes out. Because remember, I've told y'all a lot of times people are not going to be free to talk about the bad things that happen in a film or on a production until they're out of their contract. So I would not be surprised if, now I don't know if the trilogy is signed off for or not. I don't know, but don't be surprised if like we don't find this out until the trilogy is over, or if they're only doing one movie and they don't want to do more. If that's all there is, don't be surprised if that is the contributing factor, right? So I don't know. Listen, if I hear anything in them streets, I'll let y'all know, but because I'm curious too. Like I said, I mean, I don't like seeing people in pain like that. And the way she described her situation, it sounded bad. So I'm like, yo, like, are you good? Like, what? How can we help? Like, what? Who needs to be held accountable if something really bad happened? I don't know. Regina, Tom definitely had a lot of input on the back end. Yeah, for sure. You know, and he's been on record talking about how him and Kevin Feige would push respectfully against Sony and trying to bring a more grounded Spider-Man and all of that. So yeah, he's definitely pulling some strings, and that's fine. You know, listen, as long as we get a good product, I'm fine with it. Right? I'm good with it. I don't care who's pulling the strings. But thank you so much for that. All right, Caleb, I'm gonna come to you when I get to the review. DJ, what you got? The Venom movie better have Spider-Man in it and rated R, with or without Spider-Man. Enough said. Well, this is the animated series. So if they want to do an animated series, I would hope. I don't know if they have the guts to make it rated R. I don't think they would. I don't think they would. But yeah, if they ever do live action, they absolutely should. Matter of fact, I need to put that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me write this real quick because I don't want to forget. Yes. But yes, I completely agree. If we were to ever get a movie, that would be great. But I don't think Marvel has the guts. Not Marvel. I don't think Sony. Sony doesn't have the guts. Because a Maximum Carnage movie should be rated R, and you see how they messed that up. You see how they messed that up with Woody Harrelson and all of that. They jacked that up poorly because they were chasing the money. They were chasing the dollars, but not the cents, right? The sense would have been you needed to build that up, just like the comics. Like the comics were basic. Venom shows up. He hates Spider-Man. He gives Spider-Man a bunch of problems. Carnage comes up. He hates Spider-Man and Venom. He gives Venom problems and Spider-Man. Venom, Spider-Man team up to go against Carnage, and it's madness all over. That's a $1 billion movie by itself. Matter of fact, that's a $1.2 billion movie. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. Reagan, what you got? Have you watched Silo? Just finished season 1. Phenomenal. I started Silo a while ago, and I never got past episode 4 or 5. Nothing bad. I just got caught up with other stuff. It got lost in the mix. That's the same thing that happened with me and Pluribus. I've been meaning to finish it. I got on to episode 6, I think, with Pluribus. And I just never went back. Not bad, not bad. I absolutely plan on finishing it. Absolutely. But I don't know if y'all have noticed this. But, and I told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all this was going to happen. Sometimes y'all got to listen to me. Sometimes. I told y'all when we had the writer strike and the director strike and the actor strike and all that stuff, there was going to be a backlog of so much stuff. And by the time things come out, we're going to be feasting. And right now, we're feasting. There are a lot, y'all. We had Invincible, we had we got House of the Dragon, we had Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, we have a lot, there's a lot of stuff coming out that was postponed, and it's gonna take time to go through that backlog. It just is, right? Like, we got X-Men 97. There's a lot of stuff to get through. So, and Pluribus. Like, it's so much stuff. So, give me time. But I absolutely plan on watching it. Matter of fact, I also want to watch Dark Matter, because they shoot that in Chicago, like, close to where I be working too. So I need to watch Dark Matter. Like, I want to watch. There's that other TV. So Apple be cooking, by the way. Apple usually has a lot of shows that I just don't think people watch Apple like that for whatever reason. But like, if you took all the shows on Apple TV and put them on Netflix or on HBO, these things would blow up so big, right? I mean, look how good of a show Severance is. And Severance doesn't get the hype I think that it deserves. Matter of fact, I still got to watch season 2 of Severance. Oh! I have so much stuff to get to. So much. Yeah. DJ, what you got? Thank you so much. They have all the templates to make Venom work. Also, I want Miles. Parker is my OG, but give me Miles. Facts. 100% agree with all of that. Yes. No disagreement at all. Regina, what you got? Tom got his product placement though. He did. Didn't he get his little beer, his little non-alcoholic beer or something in that? Listen, shout out to Barrow, but he is doing his thing. He is doing his thing. That's the way you should do it, by the way. Okay. If you are an actor, if you are somebody with some pull, you better believe, man, if it was me, I'd be having Spider-Man drinking that Barrel all day, whatever his little drink is, every day. Oh man, all my friends forgot about me. Like, man, you better market your stuff. Shoot, that's some good stuff. All right. All right, Shake. I am going to bring that up during the review. DJ, thoughts on Evil Dead Burn? I liked it. Very brutal for sure. With one funny moment. I think if you saw it. I have not seen it yet. I was about to go see it, but I think I had to go see the Odyssey instead or something else. But I have not seen it yet. I was a little nervous. Only because with Evil Dead Burn, I was a little nervous about the director, because I feel like ever since Fede Alvarez did the reboot Evil Dead, every movie after that feels like they're trying to be more brutal and gory rather than focusing on an actual story. So to me, when I looked at the trailer for Evil Dead Burn, I was kind of like, this doesn't feel like y'all really care about the story anymore. Not to say the story was all that deep, but it just feels like now you're just leaning into how nasty and gruesome can we get. And if that is your spectacle, you're going to lose my attention. I don't like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be violent. I'm saying I hope you have a good story to go along with it. And if you don't, I'll wait for streaming. That's all. So I definitely want to see it because I've watched all the Evil Deads. But yeah, I'm a little on the fence with that. Man, DJ coming through. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. A solo Venom movie should be rated R. So Ghost Rider. So should Ghost Rider. I love Ghost Rider, especially with Midnight Suns. If they don't bring it, Blade, I will riot. I'm with you 100% on all of that. The problem I have is that I have a feeling they will make Ghost Rider rated R, and that will piss me off even more. because that's something else that should have gone to Blade. So yes, I think that that's exactly what's going to happen, but we will see how that goes. Oh, come on, Jesus, thank you so much. Is it too early to say I love who they cast as T'Challa Jr. and the fact that the character is from Haiti makes it even sweeter? What do you think about Tiana Taylor as Storm Aurora Monroe? So no, I don't think it's too early because they made the announcement, right? There one I think one of the things that some people might miss is the fact that there was a time frame after Nate Moore sat here and gave the, I think, impression that while the 616 T'Challa was gone, there was always hope for a variant, right? And then we got Wakanda Forever. And Wakanda Forever was like, oh, look, T'Challa Jr., Toussaint, hey, whatever, right? So there was still more hope that a variant could happen. And this was just a nice little way that they felt would send off, the character or whatever. But with this announcement for Black Panther 3, which takes place after Secret Wars, which is going to be the new main universe, Marvel has basically said, this is what we're doing. Moving on. Whatever wiggle room there might have been to get a long-term variant. Maybe you get one in Doomsday. Maybe you get a quick one in Secret Wars, but that won't matter because whatever T'Challa we're getting in Black Panther 3, that is what they're going to go with forever. So is it too early? No, because they clearly have made their intentions made that that's the direction that they're going in. They're not really giving us a lot of hope that there's going to be wiggle room. So no, I don't think it's too early. Hey, as a first generation Haitian American, absolutely it makes it sweeter that he is that any representation. I mean, can you name a lot of Haitian superheroes? I can't. I was ecstatic at the fact that we had that with Wonder Man, and we'll get to that in a second. And the fact that we got a Black Panther that's also Haitian. Listen, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like some Haitian representation on screen. I like that. Even if I don't agree with the creative decision, I still like the fact that my culture is still being presented in some way. Because once again, I never thought I would see a Haitian anything on screen. I'm still rooting for a Toussaint Louverture movie. I don't even think we can get that. Y'all know the powers that be don't want to have that out there. Okay. And now, as for Tiana Taylor as Storm, she would not be my first pick. Especially now that we know the direction that they're going with Toussaint. It seems like they want someone a little bit younger. It seems like they want someone who's probably in their 20s or 30s, especially when it comes to the X-Men. So I'm here for Jamie Lawson. I think she would be the clear front runner right now, at least as a pick. She can act. She got the part. Now, I don't know if she gonna have to get the dialect, But listen, I'm also gonna start looking at this Children of Blood and Bone, and I'm gonna start keeping my head on a swivel for everybody there too. Like I need to see not Amandla. We're not gonna do this. Not Amandla, okay? But listen, I think Jamie, she already has a good relationship, obviously, with Ryan Coogler. Maybe, So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Raby, I will hold on to that until we get to the no, actually I won't. I'll say that now. Tremel Tillman is an amazing actor and he shines in Severance. I gotta support that brother. I thought you were gonna talk about Spider-Man, because I also agree he was good in that too. But thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, y'all. Appreciate that so much. All right, let's grab some MCU updates and then we will get to the other juicy topics. So we have a couple of things in the MCU going down. Michael Giacchino says that they are talking about doing a sequel to Werewolf by Night. In case you forgot, that was the little MCU Marvel special presentation that they had during the pandemic. Says everything takes forever to do. There's a lot of planning that has to happen. Everything has to fit in a particular place at a particular time. I don't know why. Look, Werewolf by Night, that was cool. It was fine. Listen, we was all stuck in the house, couldn't go nowhere. It came out. It was different. It was all right. I don't know who's asking for a part 2. Now, I'm not saying you can't have the character show up elsewhere, but we need a sequel? Do we? Or do we just need this character to show up? Listen, he sounds like the perfect fit for a Midnight Suns. Throw him in Midnight Suns. That's where we're going to have, all the supernatural stuff. But I'm just saying, I don't really see the need or desire for a 2. And the fact that you're talking about it's taking this long, I don't even remember what happened in Werewolf by Night, if we're being real honest. I think a vampire was in, I don't know. Like, I don't know. There was what was it? A maze, a mystery? I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. If y'all want to do something, I guess, but I just don't personally feel like there's a huge demand for it that would require all this time and effort to me. What else we got? We were talking about X-Men earlier. So we have, they are in the process of casting different X-Men for the upcoming X-Men movie that is going to be taking place, I want to say, right after Avengers Secret Wars. And we got one character already. Samara Weaving has been cast as Emma Frost in the new X-Men movie. I think this is fantastic casting. Listen, if we're being honest, insert blonde, pretty girl here, right? She can do it. I liked her in Ready or Not. This is fine. She's a good actress. She's got talent. She got the look. If you can't get Margot, you're going to get Samara Weaving. But no, I do think that she's a good pick for this. I do think she will be solid as Emma Frost. I guess their only question is going to be like, how are y'all going to make Emma Frost's role work? I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of different perspectives on like, what are y'all going to do when it comes to, are y'all going to put her in a love triangle? Because I've already told y'all the love triangles can get a little messy, right? We already talked about one potential that could happen with Wolverine and all that, but I don't know. There's one. If the comic fans, y'all know which one I'm talking about. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what else. Now this one is not confirmed, but she's shooting her shot. But Indy Navarrete says that she wants to play Mystique in the MCU. In case you forgot, she's the girl that played in Obsession. She apparently recently met with the X-Men director as well. So listen, I mean, Mystique, okay, why not? I mean, listen, she did a great job in Obsession. And Mystique, you're in blue and you're changing shapes all the time. Why not? Again, I do think this will depend on what version of Mystique are we going to get. Are we going to get this older Mystique who, the mother of Nightcrawler and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we getting that Mystique, or is this a Mystique that supposedly just does not really age as much? I don't know. But I do know that Indy has talent. I know that she is a good actress, and I do believe that she will give us something that is worthwhile in watching. So if she gets the role, I fully support that. I really do. So I'm cool with that. Next up, now, this is no spoiler. We already know that, especially in the trailers, promotions, and all that, in Spider-Man Brand New Day, you do have the Hulk. We have the appearance of the Hulk showing up. And the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, he actually said that Mark Ruffalo has some ideas for a solo Hulk movie. He says that Mark has a few pitches and they are pretty good. Well, isn't that great? I don't care. Nope. Mm-mm. Because if I'm not mistaken, and you know, I just recall in previous reports, a lot of the decisions that were made with the Hulk that we've seen over the past couple of years have also come from the collaboration between Mark Ruffalo and Kevin Feige. Remember, Marvel did not have the rights to do a solo Hulk movie. So what they opted to do instead was to basically tell a Hulk story from Avengers: Age of Ultron, Thor: Ragnarok, so on, and Infinity War. So, in other words, anything and everything you probably did not like about the Hulk, I have to hold Mark Ruffalo somewhat accountable for that because those were part of his decision making in collaboration with Feige. Okay, so you know, yes, I agree. Mark Ruffalo, him as an actor is not the problem. Okay, he's a good actor. I like him. Stand up dude, right? Met him in person a couple times. Stand up guy. Definitely likes to fight for what he believes in. But what I don't believe in is his interpretation of the Hulk. That's what I don't believe in. Because as I made a whole video about this, Marvel has failed the Hulk for years. Years. And Professor Hulk did not help at all. Now we're going to talk about what we got in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We'll talk about that. But I still have to hold I got to be cautious because, sir, I've also seen what you gave us with the Hulk in the past couple years. So I'm just saying, I got to pump the brakes on that. Just because Mark Ruffalo says it, I can't just be like, oh, yeah, this is great. I can't. All right, last thing with the MCU updates. Kevin Feige says the strategy for the MCU right now is quality above everything else. We always try to focus on quality, but when quantity is so much, you get spread thin. We didn't want to be spread thin, and the Avengers is as important as it comes. All right, sir. This is basically echoing the same communication that came down from Bob Iger, where he was saying like, yo, during the pandemic, they had the directive, Marvel, Star Wars, everybody had the directive, drop what you're doing, put everything on Disney Plus because streaming is the future. Yeah, all right. And while they were doing all that, Kevin Feige was running around doing this, doing that, doing it. He could not stay on a project and give it the full attention that he normally would. So we were left with trash a lot of times. Phase 4 was overall a failure. And Phase 5 also struggled as well. But now he wants to talk about focusing on quality and not quantity. I wish you would have focused on the quality of Blade. So when I hear things like this, it bothers me. It bothers me. We will get to that. Okay. You know, I'm sorry. We'll get to that. Because I be trying not to trigger myself. I be trying so hard. But apparently, they are focused real heavy on Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Take that for what you will, for whatever it is. All right, guys, what do you guys think about the MCU updates? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Ooh. Magic. If a Haitian Rebellion movie was made, who do you think would play Jean-Jacques? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Like, because now you're going to get into, do you really want Black actors, like Black American actors playing Haitian characters? Do you want to get Haitian American or Haitian character? I don't know. I don't know. I would be more concerned about The studio, what studio is doing it? Because if it's Paramount, I got questions, right? If you're gonna drop that in a January, I got questions. But I'd be more concerned about who's the studio, who is the director, and then we can talk about the actor and stuff like that, right? But you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's tough because now I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, are y'all gonna be speaking in French? Y'all gonna be speaking some Creole? Like, what are y'all gonna be doing? Like, I'm curious. I'm curious. If it's up to Hollywood, get every black British actor on board. That's immediately what you would have. I already know. Okay. Shout out. And exceptions will be made for Delroy Lindo. I don't care what the thing is. If Delroy Lindo wants to be in it, he's fine by me. Fine by me. Okay. Fine by me. Regina, have you seen the Thomas Crown Affair? Yes, or the trailer. I actually was trying to see if I can play it, but they were not playing nice. They were copywriting it. It was a good trailer. I mean, it really doesn't tell me anything, you know. I do believe, and I have not spoken to her about this yet, but my wife is not allowed to watch that movie. There is a little bit too much Michael B. Jordan in a suit. There's a little bit too much of him with no clothes on. So she cannot watch that movie. So that's going to happen. But overall, the trailer itself did look good. It did look solid. It reminded me of the previous one because the one I had seen before, what was the dude's name? The James Bond dude or whatever played in it. I did remember, like, I watched that. I did enjoy that. So that was cool. But listen, Michael B. Jordan is back at it. He's about to do his thing, and he's directing it. Pierce Bronson, thank you so. And that's my GOAT, James Bond too. I'm here for it. I liked it. I thought it was solid. I don't need to see more. I'm convinced to go see it. So we'll see, where that goes or where that ends up. Right. All right. Now we got to talk about even more stuff. Let's talk about Wonder Man. In case you did not know, the news dropped recently that we got an update with Wonder Man. Listen, I had already given the news is basically that the season 2 has been canceled. It is not going to be renewed. Now, if you guys recall, I did do my review on Wonder Man. I wasn't blown away by it, but I really did like what it was. I liked, again, I got my very first Haitian American superhero, so I was with that. And I liked the idea that the acting was very good. It was solid. I'm just a little tired of the whole Hollywood making, pointing a lens on Hollywood. That's just a personal thing for me. But overall, I thought the series was really good. And the issue that I had was I didn't feel satisfied enough with what they gave me in the first season. And it just was like, yo, okay, now I want a second season because I need to know who was this dude? Like, where did he get his powers from? What's going on? Like, I wanted to see more. So even though I wasn't in love with the first season, I wasn't turned off from wanting more. So when it was announced, and that's the crazy thing, it was already announced that we were getting a second season. I was like, great, let's go. We here for this, right? And then this news came out that it wasn't happening. Now, this is the article initially from Variety. They had the exclusive on it. But since this article has come out, you also had the head writer come out and say something. We also had Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and we'll talk about that as well. But just to give you guys some background, says despite the fact that this was announced season 2 renewal for the show back in March, this has been canceled. According to sources, a writer's room for season 2 was never opened, and the show's writers have been released to pursue other projects. Yeah, that's not a good sign that it's going to happen. And this is the crazy thing that makes no sense. With the first season holding a 91% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So you are highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he earned an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Lead Actor. And as he should, he did a really good job. And here's the thing, this makes him the only live action actor to get an Emmy nod or nomination for both Marvel and DC. Because remember, he was also in Watchmen. So you had the talent that was nominated, okay, and nothing. And, you know, Disney didn't release their numbers or whatever, but Wonder Man did make a single appearance in the Nielsen streaming top 10 charts the week of its release. The show managed to crack the number 8 position on the streaming top 10 originals chart for the week of January 26th to February 1st. While Wonder Man is not proceeding with season 2, you know, according to a source, the characters featured in the series could still appear in other Marvel projects in the future. The renewal of Wonder Man, that was an anomaly for Marvel because virtually all of the live action series they've launched on Disney Plus have been single seasons, except for Loki, of course, and What If, but whatever. Oh, they said live action. Well, yeah, Loki had a second season. So, you know, and let me talk about what brother Yaya said here. He made this post on his Instagram. He said, word just dropped that Wonder Man won't be coming back for season 2. And if you don't know, now you know. That's life, right? Everything will shake out. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched the show, enjoyed the show, and shared that they enjoyed the show in some way or another. The show worked. It did work. And that's my favorite thing about it. I could see it on the faces of the YouTube reactors. And I see it in the messages. I get saying how the show reminded some of y'all not to give up. And I feel it in the genuine love shared when I bumped into some of you during the day. So thinking of you all today, I'm glad we got to be a part of something cool. Thank you for watching. And see you at the Emmys. Yeah. That's I like that. See, that was smooth. That was smooth because, you know, had to remind y'all I got Emmy nominated for this whole thing. Couple of thoughts. For one, this was my nightmare for Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. If you guys recall, I have been a huge fan and a huge supporter of Yahya for a while, because I do believe the brother is ridiculously talented. And, you know, ever since Recast T'Challa was a thing, Yahya was always one of my number one candidates of playing a recasted T'Challa. And the reason for that was because, again, I saw the talent, I saw the potential, and I thought that he could really bring justice and honor to the role. And I remember when it was first announced, when Wonder Man came out, and I was like, dang, bro, Wonder Man, this C-D-list character, I don't like that for him because I didn't see the longevity in that, right? Like, to me, I was just like, yo, I don't know, this is a side character, and the character's race swapped. So, of course, you're going to have the racists online being triggered. But, like, I just didn't, I was worried. I was like, yo, I don't know if this is going to be the move. And somebody had said that, oh, potentially there was going to be a Wonder Man movie. And I'm like, I don't see that happening either, you know? So my fear was always the longevity and the character and the role for him specifically, because I've always wanted him to really take off, you know, in that way, but it didn't happen. But now this is where things get bad, because I think, as a lot of you all have noticed And a lot of you have rightfully pointed this out. This is a problem for Marvel now. Now we have a trend. Because I was the first one to tell you all, when you compare Marvel to DC and to Sony, Marvel's in the lead in terms of giving you strong black representation. They've given you a Black Panther. They've given you a Ironheart. They've given you a Wonder Man. They've given you, a Captain America. Like they've given you all of these black-led movies and TV shows, whereas all the other studios don't. They just don't. Howsoever, there's a balancing act that's happening now that's not working out in their favor. There's a balancing act that's happening now that's giving way more credence to the argument that Marvel has a black character problem. Because while black characters are not the majority in Marvel, and while it is true that things do get canceled, things don't always pan out, it's getting a little troubling with the level of consistency in the lack of energy in black-led films and TV shows. We were supposed to get, in case y'all forgot, Don Cheadle, Rhodey, in a TV series for Armor Wars. And then news came out that it wasn't going to be a TV series, and that was going to be an upgrade because they were going to make it a movie. And then they canceled it. Then we have obviously what happened now with Wonder Man. We had Kang. We had Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors at the peak, right? Doing this thing, was great in Loki. Don't know why he was added in Ant-Man, but for whatever reason, they pivoted because they got scared. They fumbled Ant-Man. They fumbled the character of Kang in that movie. He didn't fumble it. And this is where it's starting to get messed up. Kang, Jonathan Majors, they were not the issue, but you sidelined them and pivoted to Dr. Doom. Blade, we know the long history with Blade. 2-time Oscar award-winning actor. One of the most beloved franchises in Marvel that saved Marvel's bacon and made them even viable today. Probably one of the easiest stories that y'all could even come up with. And y'all fumbled that. And now, Emmy-nominated actor, positively critically received TV series, decent ratings. I mean, we don't know all the ratings, but decent enough to make the top 10. And now Wonder Man can't get nothing. It would be very different if you were to sit here and tell me, man, the ratings for Wonder Man were, down in the dumps. Man, the reviews for the show were terrible. I'm just saying, it begs the question now for Marvel. What more is needed for these black-led properties to succeed so that you can beat these allegations? Because right now, you're not beating the allegations. Giving a green light to Black Panther 3 is not enough, because the amount of cancellations of these specifically black-led films and TV series, those things are starting to outweigh whatever Black Panther you think is going to do for you. You're now going to be in the position where Black Panther is going to feel like a token property rather than the pioneer of something great in terms of black representation within this comic book space. I don't know how you beat these allegations. I don't know. I mean, if the defense, again, is you're doing better than DC and Sony, it's not looking that great anymore. It's just not. And I think the biggest issue is the fact that y'all can't even rely on the excuse of failed production or failed execution. You can't even rely on that, right? Like at some point, if something is failing, and yes, if it has black folks, okay, I'd be like, well, if nobody watched, nobody watched. I can give you that. But if we're out here getting Oscar we have 2-time Oscar award winners, if we have high critical reviews, if we have the numbers, if the characters are being portrayed perfectly, what more do you need? What more does it take? Because every time I see a white-led project with half of the credentials, now you got some more explaining to do. When you sit here and say, hey, Wonder Man can't move forward, but guess what, y'all? Vision Quest is coming up. I have to ask the question, why? Why are we getting Vision Quest, but not Armor Wars? What happened? Dang, I forgot about the Okoye series. That was another one with the Dora Milaje. Now, where are my journalist people at? Why are y'all not asking these questions? These are the questions that when y'all get these little rare opportunities to ask these people. First of all, if you're working for Variety, if you're working for comicbook.com, they not finna fire you. They not about to sit here and tell y'all not gonna get another interview again because you ask a hard question. But these are questions that need to be asked. What made Vision Quest so important, but Armor Wars not? What made Wonder Man not worth it and Kang not worth it, but you had to pivot to Dr. Doom? Y'all got to ask these questions. They're not going to let me ask them. Y'all got to ask them. This is shameful. This is shameful because this is not conjecture. It's not just random speculation. We're seeing things that check off the right boxes, doing the things that other shows would kill for, but y'all over here saying, sorry, can't go forward. We need an explanation. I said that with Blade, and I'll say it again, and we need it now for Wonder Man. We need an explanation. Stop letting them off the hook. This is not a matter of hating or being contentious. It's a question of just saying like, yo, a movie or a TV show did all these things that everyone usually is looking for. Why? Why the cancellation? What is the point? All right. You guys let me know, how do you feel about the Wonder Man situation? I don't like it. I don't think it was justified. I don't think it was worth, I don't think it warranted this. Like if y'all were not feeling it, Marvel, why did you renew it? Like this, this feels this is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. Hey, y'all, guess what? We got another show for you. It's Wonder Man Season 2. Psych. Hey, y'all, let's bring Jonathan Majors out. Kang. Look it up. Give it up for Kang, y'all. Psych. Hey, y'all, we about to bring out Blade with Mahershala Ali. Psych. Hey, y'all, we got Armor Wars. We're not going to make it a TV show. We're going to make it a movie, y'all. Psych. Hey, y'all, remember Black Panther? We had a whole TV show coming up with Okoye because she was dope. Psych. Y'all not beating these allegations. You're not. I try to be objective. I try to point out, hey, man, y'all are at least doing better than this. And y'all not beating these allegations now. Don't come to me looking for no excuses. Y'all on your own. Y'all need to ask Kevin Feige all these questions. All of them. And Brad Winderbaum. That's probably why they don't let me interview him either. That's probably why. That's fine. It's cool. I understand. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Wonder Man situation. Feel free to let me know your comments and the thoughts down below. Man, golly, we can't have nice things. Okay. All right. All right. Mike, what you got? I don't blame you, bro. Keep Mrs. E-Man away from him. I kind of know how you feel. These ladies just don't care no more. Listen, she can't watch Jumanji. She can't watch Thomas Crown Affair. You know, anything with The Rock, off limits. No, I don't. She slipped away and saw Moana without me. She slipped away. Her and the littles. You know, she thought she was slick. I know, but it's all good. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, anonymous girl. They canceled Monica Rambeau's series too. Was that rumor or was that I don't remember if that was like confirmed. Like, did they announce it? Or was it just kind of like one of those I don't remember. But at this point, I believe it. I believe it. And we definitely could. I would definitely be here for a Monica Rambeau series. But you know, we'll get to it. Let's see. Doomer, what you got? If I was James Gunn, I'd fast track a static movie ASAP. Chess move, checkmate. That would be smart. But unfortunately, they can't. There are copyrights going on with I think, don't quote me, I think it's the Duffy Estate and Milestone Comics. Like, from what I read, basically they all have to be in agreement, and I don't think there is agreement right now. So James Gunn has kind of hinted around the fact that it's a messy situation, and that is where we're not getting a static movie. But static movie to me would be amazing. I would love that immediately, just right now. G, what you got? You need to clip that email. I would do that. I would do that. I gotta clip a lot. I gotta clip my stuff from last week too, because you know, I'll just repeat it. Whatever. Let's see what else. Quiet one. What you got? When MCU announced a Black-led project, I don't believe them anymore. Like, I don't believe Disney when it comes to Star Wars content. Yeah, I know, right? July 2019, they announced Blade, but 3 years later, that they was okay dropping lame Thor for it. Man, don't see you getting me triggered with this. You getting me triggered with this because you know how I feel about that. You know, and we about to talk about Blade too. That's the next topic too. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it is hard to believe, right? Because the other crazy thing about this is it feels like Black Panther is the only thing protected because of the money that it made. If Black Panther didn't have the money, the 2-point-something billion dollars behind both movies, who's to say if we would have gotten a Black Panther 3? Like, at this rate, at the direction that they're going in, who would have known? Who would, you know, like, because again, what does it take? Does it take making billions of dollars to protect you from this black axe in Marvel, whatever this is? All right. Batman, what you got? What is your opinion on IP versus original stories in today's era of movie making? Is the market shifting? Has the IP been a red herring? I don't know. I think that kind of all depends. I don't know. I mean, I'm always here for original content. I think that original content is always something that we will strive for, because who isn't always looking for something new and something better? But as for IP, like, the thing with IP is kind of like there's a business model with that. And that business model is more of like, if this is reliable, if this is something that we have gone through, then and it's proven, people show up. And that's the thing. The numbers have always proven that. The numbers have always proven that when you have franchises and sequels, people show up and they just keep going. That's internationally proven, that's domestic. So yeah, there's a lot with that. All right, guys, let's keep going. I gotta, gosh, I forgot I still gotta do the review. Dang, Do we do the Blade update or let me do my Spider-Man review? Hold on. I almost forgot about that. I didn't even put the thing up. Spider-Man and New Day review. All right, let me get this up here. Okay. We got to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. That is the newest installment, of the Spider-Man franchise, between the collaboration of Marvel and Disney. I'm sorry, Marvel and Sony. And yes, this is the fourth one in the Tom Holland franchise here. And we have a lot to talk about with this. I'm going to give you quickly a intro, and then I'll talk about the good stuff, the bad stuff, and where I land with it. So let's start off with the intro. A forgotten Peter Parker is living alone as a full-time Spider-Man until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous and change, and a powerful new enemy emerges. All right, so let's start off with the good. I think first and foremost, we got to talk about the performance. Tom Holland is easily doing his best work here with this role. I think that he has done such a great job as Peter Parker and Spider-Man that this is probably his best portrayal of the character yet. I really, really enjoy what he's doing in this role. And I thought that this role, the way that he was able to find a certain level of balance between the emotional outpour. I don't want to, go too much into it, but he's wearing his emotions on his sleeve, right? His heart is on his sleeve and all that. And I liked how he was able to balance that with the other side of being Spider-Man, because if you know Spider-Man, you know that obviously he's emotional. He goes through a lot of things, but once he puts on that mask, he's cracking jokes, he's witty, he's funny. And I thought that Tom Holland did a really good job of giving us that in Spider-Man. So I really like that. And so yeah, really probably his best portrayal of the character. But when we talk about acting, I loved what John Bernthal brought to this role, as well as Punisher in a supporting role. I thought he did a solid job. I love the banter between these dudes. They sounded like two guys from New York just arguing all day. I loved it. I loved it. I love their chemistry. We need more scenes of them together. That is what I am here for all day, every day. And also, I also wanted to point out Zendaya. So, of course, we know Zendaya plays MJ in the series. And I have to say, I actually like this newer take on her, this newer version. I don't know if they just grew her up. I don't know if she just matured, but I like the fact that we're not getting the the gothic, dark, weird version of her. Like I like the fact that she's straightforward. I like the fact that it feels like she has a little bit more balance, a little bit more nuance in her character this time around. So I really enjoy that. And I loved her scenes, obviously, with Tom Holland. Those scenes really landed for me. There's a very emotional scene, in the middle of the movie that I thought they did very well together. So that to me was done so well. And I got to give some props to Mark Ruffalo as Professor, Bruce Banner. And of course, as the Hulk. Again, not too much of a spoiler since that was all throughout the entire promotion and everything. And I'll say this, when it comes to what we did get with the Hulk in this, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're back. Okay. I think we can officially say we're back, because that's what we were missing. That Hulk energy that we had all the way back in the first Avengers movie is that's all you got to do with Hulk every time. That's it. That's all you have to do. So for me, I was very happy with what we got. And I also wanted to say this too. What they did with Hulk in that movie, and again, this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Obviously, him and Spider-Man have moments. The interaction and the dynamic that you see with little old Spider-Man and big old crazy Hulk, that is the blueprint. That is the energy that we need to have with a Venom versus Spider-Man. Okay? So Sony, y'all see it. Sony, y'all are right there. Don't drop this. Don't fumble this. What you saw right there is exactly what we need. Take that and just copy and print Venom right there. I need to see that. Okay? Because that was some of the funnest moments of the film for me, was with that. Now, let me also go on. I thought that throughout the film, especially, with the cameos and everything, what I really liked was the fact that they did not overtake and overshadow the actual main character, Peter Parker. Yes, you got Punisher in there. Yes, you got the Hulk in there. Yes, you have other characters in there. But at no time did I ever sit back and think like, oh man, this ain't Peter's movie no more. Oh man, this ain't Spider-Man movie no more. Oh man, like there have been times like you'll watch another movie and be like, man, this ain't no Captain America movie. This is the mini Avengers movie, like in Civil War. Nah, this one felt like it was all Peter. This was all Spider-Man. And that takes a lot for to be able to execute that and handle all those other characters. So shout out to Destin Daniel Cretton, the director. I thought he also did a very good job, not only with balancing the characters, but just balancing the tones. I saw a lot of people online, some critics saying that, the emotions and stuff were scattered. I didn't see that. I thought that the emotions, the tones, were handled properly. When it was time for action, it was time for action. When it was time for drama, it was time for drama. When it was a funny moment, we had a funny moment. What I liked was the fact that they didn't mix, right? I hate when I'm supposed to feel sorry or I'm supposed to feel emotional at a very tough scene and you want to crack jokes. Let me sit with that, right? Or it's a funny scene, but then you like doing this in the middle of action and stuff. Let me enjoy the action and then y'all can crack jokes. So I like the pacing of this. I thought that was done very well. And also, I really enjoyed the cinematography, because when Spider-Man is like flying and when he's doing all his stuff, the fact that they had the GoPro camera shots throughout this, I thought that was beautifully handled. Because I don't know about y'all, but I remember when I first saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, and when that came out, that was the first time I really saw web slinging in live action. And I remember looking at that and thinking to myself, is this what it feels like to be Spider-Man? And that's what I felt in this movie. Like when he was web slinging here and there, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm back in that same feeling as a little kid watching this, that like, yo, this is great, right? Like I feel like I want to be Spider-Man again, right? And I really also like, as we talked about earlier, just how it did feel like we were getting elements from the video game, and we know how hard that is. We've seen a lot of video game movies. It's not easy taking something from the video game and putting it into live action without making it look cheesy. So I thought they did a very good job with that as well. Is there anything else? Oh, yes, there is more. When it comes to the themes, I really like how they captured the theme of grief, the theme of loss. Of course, piggybacking off of Spider-Man No Way Home, where everybody forgets about who Peter Parker is. The whole movie, Peter is dealing with grief. He is dealing with loss. He's dealing with the loss of Aunt May. He's dealing with the loss of his friends. And I believed it. I was like, man, I was feeling bad for him. So the fact that they were able to show that, and the way that they were able to, and I'm trying not to spoil it, the way that they were able to use the theme and the aspect of grief and loss as an element and a component in the final battle, I thought they did that very well. I thought that was just as Peter Parker from the comics as you can get, right? Like how they use grief and loss in the finale is exactly what you would expect if you were reading a Spider-Man comic. So I love that. And I also, of course, I have to talk about the antagonist. Of course, let's not spoil it for people who haven't seen it if it hasn't been spoiled online already. I did like the villain antagonist in this. I thought they did a very good job in hiding the mystery for at least a good half of the movie. When I recently did my watch party, I love sitting and hearing the reaction from the audience when they find out who or what the antagonist is. Everyone's like, "What? Oh, you know." So that to me is also a sign of good storytelling, good pacing. Because I'll be honest, when I first was watching it, I was like, "What is this? Are y'all creating a new character, a new villain for Spider-Man? Because who can do this and what's going?" I loved it. So I love that surprise. That was great. Again, if that gets spoiled for you, I feel sorry, because the way the movie portrayed it, I thought the movie did an excellent job in stringing you along, not really revealing anything until you actually get to that point. You're like, bam, there it is. So that to me is very good storytelling, and they did that. They handled that well. So from the performances, from the action, the fight scenes, also very good. I mean, Spider-Man was out here doing some spider foo, you know. And keep in mind, this is the same director that did Shang-Chi, so you know he knows how to do action well. I love the fight scenes in this. They handle that in such a very compelling and exciting way. So the action, the acting, the cinematography, the themes, all of those, bueno, muy bueno. Now we got to talk about the bad. All right, so I gave y'all a lot of good. I got to give it a little bad. One of the things that I had an issue with, not big but minor, we know, especially from the trailers, that Spider-Man is clearly going through some stuff, right? Some internal stuff. He's something is happening, something is changing, right? You know, he's going through some stuff, right? My biggest issue is just more so the fact that we get an answer of what's going on with him, but I didn't really feel that satisfied with that answer. I was just like, that's it? Like, that's all we're gonna go with? That so I kind of felt like we were left hanging a little bit when it came to the actual situation of what was going on with him. So to me, I was just like, it felt like it was a really big thing that you were trying to prop up, like, hey, Spider-Man is going through some changes. Hey, something's going on with Spider-Man. And to kind of just be like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, that's all. You know, that's all it is. I was just like, I felt like they just left us hanging with that. So to me, that part, I was just like, I felt like that could have been handled a little better. But the other thing, the other issue I had was, bear with me here. Obviously, I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. I had another issue with the villain. Okay, now hear me out. When it comes to the villain, we know that there are issues. There are villain issues where, let's say, they do the same pattern before, right? So Marvel will do stuff like the mirror villain. And I've talked about the mirror villain issue before, where, hey, you're Iron Man, so your villain has to be another guy in an iron suit. Hey, you're Black Panther, so your villain has to be another person in a Black Panther suit. You know, like, I don't like the mirror villains. It's tired, it's weak. But recently we've been going through this thing with Marvel where they will give their villains these morally gray motivations or situations, right? Hey, I'm Thanos, but I really want to help the world, but I'm gonna kill half the universe. All right, whatever, you know. Or Ghost, for example, in the Ant-Man movie, right? Like, hey, is she really a bad guy? She is kind of killing people, but you know, it's also because she's dying. You know, all right, yeah. Killmonger. Yeah, he wants to liberate black people, but was he a bad guy? First of all, he was a bad guy. But you see where I'm going, right? They're trying to give these villains some sort of morally gray thing where you're kind of relatable to them, right? But in this case, in this movie, I think that it was not properly executed. And I only really caught this on my second viewing. So the villain does things that to me don't really make sense in accordance to their actual motivation. The villain wants something. We'll call it VMAX because that's not really a spoiler. They want VMAX, right? And they'll do whatever they need to get to VMAX. That makes sense. That is their mission, right? But then they go on these weird side quests. I don't know, these villain side quests that have nothing to do with their mission to go get VMAX, right? So like now I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing with this character? Why are you making this character do these weird villainy things when it has nothing to do with what they actually want? So the difference here is if Spider-Man was, let's say, actually in your way, right? If I'm the villain and Spider-Man's in my way, now it makes sense that I'm going to attack Spider-Man, fight him, all that. That makes sense. Let me give you an example so you can kind of see what I'm saying. Go back to Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. She wanted her kids. She was a little crazy, but she wanted her kids. Doctor Strange got in her way. So she would do what she had to do to eliminate people or anyone that got in the way of her getting her kids. That made sense. In this movie, this villain got so sidetracked and distracted that to me, that made it seem like they were forced into playing the role of a villain rather than making it make sense for the sake of the story and having a natural progression in their motivations colliding with the hero. I hope that made sense. I know that's I was saying a lot. So let me try and simplify it. The villain played the role of the villain too much and not so much staying true to their own motivations and just naturally bumping heads with Spider-Man. And that to me, I thought was kind of like, y'all lost the plot a little bit with the villain motivation. Okay, I know I went on a little too much with that. That's it. Let me go on to the reason. When it comes to Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think that Spider-Man Brand New Day was the grounded, emotional, action-packed Spider-Man movie that we have needed for a long time. It managed to capture all the important elements of both the person of Peter Parker and the hero of Spider-Man that always made him one of the most popular and relatable superheroes of all time. Like this has got to be Tom Holland's best performance, just period, like in all of acting that he's done so far. And this might have officially pushed him into the lead as the best Spider-Man that we've had to date. I mean, I must say it was so refreshing to see a Spider-Man movie that didn't force 15 different villains all at once with the hidden agenda from the studio trying to push a Sinister Six movie. This felt laser focused on this is Peter Parker. He's a regular person that deals with stuff who happens to have spider powers, but he's lost his aunt. He ain't got no friends. He's lonely. Like all of those things that make Spider-Man great. This movie captured that without trying to go overboard. So I really, really like that. So when it comes to the rating for Spider-Man Brand New Day, I've got to give this, man, a 9 out of 10. This was spectacular. Now, I will say, I know because some people might ask, like, where do you rate this? How does it fall with all the Spider-Man movies? I will go in order from least to best, and I'll give you my explanation. Homecoming is at the bottom. Not bad, good movie, but Homecoming, then Far From Home, then Brand New Day, and then No Way Home. Now, let me explain why I give that rating, right? Or that ranking. No Way Home to me is number one because it's still doing something that no other Spider-Man movie can do. It literally brought us all the other Spider-Man from the other Spider-Verses all together in a nostalgic fan service moment. And that's why, to me, it's something that's going to live forever. Probably, maybe, I don't want to say forever, but it's living at the top for me because it's doing something that a single solo Spider-Man movie really can't just do. But Brand New Day is right up there because it's one of the best grounded, realistic Spider-Man movies that we can get. It ain't dealing with the multiverse. It ain't dealing with intergalactic aliens. It ain't dealing with none of that. It's dealing with everything that you would want from Spider-Man. The best comparison I can give you would be if you were to say, what's the difference between Infinity War and Captain America Winter Soldier? These are arguably two of the top 5 best Marvel movies to date, but they're up there for different reasons, right? If you want a solo movie, Winter Soldier is going to win that argument, right? If you want an ensemble movie, Infinity War or maybe Endgame, those are going to win that argument. So to me, that's where I got to kind of say, yeah, if we're talking about solo movies, Brand New Day is it. But if we're talking about overall Spider-Man movie, can't nobody beat No Way Home like that. You know, they cheated. They cheated. They had too many Spider-Man in there, and they did the point. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what did you guys think if you have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, or if you will see it? Let me know what you thought about it. Come on back to this video if you haven't seen it yet. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh my God, guys, I'm losing my voice. I haven't even gotten to Blade yet. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez. Jeez. Y'all coming in here a lot. Okay. Clarence, what you got? Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I think the Black Panther decision sucks. As I said on another platform, a variant was an easy fix for everything. I agree. Like, I think a straight up recast would have been fine, but what do I know? Okay, DJ. Man, I'm hungry. I'm sorry. This was a damn good grounded Spider-Man movie. I have no gripes. This movie will make $1 billion easy. Greatly written, best choreographed Spider-Man sequences I have ever seen. Totally agree. Absolutely. This was solid. I had a really good time with this. Really good time. Okay, I just want to make sure there was no spoilers in this. Mambo. I saw Spider-Man twice and no one cared who the villain was in my theater. Dang, that's messed up. The villain motivation made no sense. Mutation, why, powers are all wrong. Okay, yeah, I mean, I would appreciate more of a explanation that we just didn't get. And I don't know if they're gonna try and put this in the next movie or whatever. Okay, whatever. But it is what it is. Let's see. Let's get to Blade, because I know y'all thinking about Blade. Well. Look who's back. We're back at it once again with another Blade update, because we just can't have nice things. At this point in time, I don't know if we will necessarily. I think we can officially give up on Blade. That is incredibly difficult for me to say, because I have held out so much hope for this franchise. I am such a fan of how much I appreciate Mahershala Ali as an actor and his enthusiasm for the character. But it's looking like it's done. It's looking like it's done. And one of the things that bothers me is just how much it's always felt as though we've just been gaslit the entire time with the whole thing. We got the announcement, we got the little tease in Eternals, and nothing. Just nothing. And I've been saying for the longest, even if you're not going to do a full movie for him, you literally could have put him in cameos somewhere. You could have. There was nothing stopping you at all from simply throwing him in. You know, I mean, you could have thrown him in Eternals, I guess. You could have thrown him in Werewolf by Night. You could have thrown him in Loki. You had all these chances to throw him in somewhere, somehow, and you didn't. Anyway, we got word from Mahershala Ali himself. He does have a movie coming up called Your Mother, Your Mother, which I am looking forward to, which I will be watching. And I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this because he's also tag teaming with the same director that was supposed to be in he was supposed to do the first Blade movie, but for whatever reason that didn't happen. He dropped out, etc. Blah blah blah. But they tag team again. All right, fine. But Mahershala spoke out on this. I don't know where he was getting interviewed about oh no, he was with GQ. I think it was a GQ interview, and they talked about this. And I'm interested in what he had to say. So it says here, two-time Oscar Award winner Mahershala Ali never has appeared in the MCU live action. And by the way, even when they had Moon Knight Blade in What If, they still went and got another actor to do his voice. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing? So, it says here, if the actor and director hadn't been brought together for Blade, their new movie wouldn't have been made. That's messed up. That is messed up. Says here by Ali, when I look at this and Blade, I couldn't have done both. And the reason this even exists is because the project fell apart and Bassem, the director, had the time, space, energy, and focus to go and write this and then reapproach me. And I was able to use those skills that I had been working on for over a year, training for Blade. In that way, I feel creatively redeemed on some level, just in my own journey between myself, and I. I think he said something else. It said something else here. Yeah, in this other interview here, it says Mahershala Ali trained for a year to prepare for Blade. So he used the sword training for his next action film, Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. Golly. Just, you let this man train for over a year. This man trained for over a year to prepare for a role. And y'all didn't want to get that to him. But Finn Jones ain't trained a lick for 15 years, however long. And y'all want to bring him back as the immortal Iron Fist. This is what I mean by the gaslighting. This is what I'm talking about. He put in all that work, time, and effort. And y'all couldn't put Blade in a cameo. Kevin Feige said, I'm feeling like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get Blade, that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala, as he should. As he should. There's no sugarcoating this. I'm glad he said it. He said it. So when we say that you were a failure and you were a loser, We're just agreeing with Kevin Feige himself when it comes to this specific project. Because for the life of me, no one can really fully understand how and why you would fumble this easy project. Now, Mahershala had a little bit more to say. He says, when I look at what it is for me, was either this or that, and I'll take this. No offense to Marvel. I've been doing this professionally for pushing 30 years now. And one thing I've learned is that what is for you, and what is not, is not. For whatever reason, that project is not for me. If they wanted to do it, they would have done it. So I have to move on, and I have to move on. Again, you had me under contract. They have billions of dollars. If they wanted to do the movie, we would have done the movie. So we're not doing the movie. And he also had one other part in this too. I feel ready to move on from the Blade questions. Those questions are for them, aka Marvel. And yes, they are. They are absolutely right. Mahershala Ali is absolutely right. Kevin Feige and Marvel should feel like absolute gigantic losers. And yes, we do need to stop putting this on Mahershala Ali because he is the one that went to Marvel in the first place. Marvel had no intention of making a Blade movie. There were no reports about that. They only woke up to it when Mahershala, two-time Oscar Award winner, came up to them. They put him on the stage. They paraded him around as the new Blade. They teased us with the Eternals voiceover and nothing else. I'm not going to say they didn't try. I'm not going to say that because according to reports, Blade went through like 5 different writers. They went through 2 different directors. So some effort was made, but that's not the point of contention. Actually, there are multiple points of contention. The question is, what happened that made it not good enough? And that's the other thing, because remember, Kevin Feige sat here and said that they were in the position that they wanted things to be insanely great. Okay. You want things to be insanely great, but you greenlight Ghost Rider? You greenlight Vision Quest? You cancel Wonder Man? Like, you get rid of Kang the Conqueror and then you pivot to Doom? Like, what do you mean when you say you want things to be insanely great, but didn't you come out with Thunderbolts? You came out with Fantastic Four? I mean, I know some people will say like, yeah, those movies were good, but I don't think anybody will say they were insanely great. Why does Blade, and I asked this question before, why does Blade seem to have a double standard? Why does Blade have to be insanely great, but everything else seems like they're just good or good enough? Why does Blade have to jump through all these other hoops? But everything else seems like as long as they're good enough, they get to coast and they get to go through. Because right now, every single time I see a Marvel movie that's not insanely great, I'm going to ask, why wasn't that energy, time, and resources put towards Blade? I have to. You're forcing my hand now. We've already talked about the pattern recognition when it comes to Black-led projects at Marvel. Y'all are starting to get to the point where you've probably capped off and canceled more Black projects than you've greenlit. Or you cancel the stuff that you did greenlight. And we don't see that same type of energy with all these other things, all these other projects. Y'all let Echo go through. Echo was nothing but, there was nothing insanely great about that. And that's the thing. If you're going to let some stuff slide through, like Thor 4, I need that same slide through energy with some of these other Black projects. I don't think we're getting Blade. I commend Mahershala Ali for stepping away because, as he said, he was under contract. Y'all signed a deal. He was probably limited in what he was able to do or not do, because that's usually what ends up happening with a lot of Marvel projects. And it's a shame. I think it's a shame. It is nothing but a shame. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, Marvel not only owes us an explanation, a full explanation of like, hey, you know what, man, we was trying, you know what, even listen, forget Marvel for a second. Where my leakers at? Y'all leakers be having all this energy to spoil movies before they come out, but y'all ain't got nothing to say about this. Where are the leakers at? Where are all the rumor people at? I need some more. Because I need to know exactly what was the issue, what was the point of contention, because Kevin Feige ain't gonna tell us. Let's just be honest. He's not gonna sit here and say, well, I wanted Blade to be in the multiverse and this and that. He's not gonna tell us that. I need some leakers or somebody to come out and say something and be like, this is the real reason why it didn't. Because the only thing I've heard right now have been like some anti-Black stuff, which is that it was Mahershala Ali's fault. I don't believe that. Because to me, the guy that literally approached Marvel, that sat here and put this idea in their head, I'm not going to sit here and blame him for Marvel not making this happen. Because I've seen Marvel let lesser things happen. So I can't put that on Ali. So I need the leakers to step up. I would love an explanation from Marvel. But most importantly, I don't want to hear about Kevin Feige feeling like a loser. I don't want to hear him talking about how he failed. I want an apology. And I want a Blade movie. If it's not going to work with Mahershala Ali, because I get it, that's life, that's the business, you still owe us a Blade movie. Maybe it's not with Mahershala Ali, but you put this Black two-time Oscar Award winner on the stage and said, Blade is coming to the MCU. We're getting Blade. We got a Midnight Suns movie coming up. If it's not Mahershala, you still owe us Blade. And I do think we do deserve an apology as well. We'll see. All right, guys. I am tired. What do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about Blade not moving forward? Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right. What you got here? Sadie Sink's portrayal felt underwhelming. She looked entirely too young for the role. It seemed like a physical mismatch that made it difficult to buy into her portrayal. Punisher was good. I would respectfully disagree. I actually like what they did with her role. I don't think her role required physicality because of how they wrote it. Like, I mean, what do you want? Like, what do you want her to do? Like, I'm trying not to spoil nothing, but like, I thought she did whatever she needed to do, and yeah, I think she fits the vision that Marvel has for her character. I'll say that. I'll leave it there. Come on, y'all. Don't be spoiling in the comments now. Don't do that. Right. This is Caleb. The movie was awesome. I thought the movie felt like the game and might even go in the direction of bringing in Miles eventually. I do think that. I do think they are. You know what? I'll say I thought that there were scenes in the movie. I thought there were scenes in the movie where I was looking for. I was like, is that him? What? Is he in there? Like, hold on, like I was looking, and maybe they have like hidden him somewhere in there, but you know, I don't know. Caleb again, respect Mahershala Ali for supposedly fighting them on quality of the script. Marvel seems to be okay with bad scripts for white-led films, though. I mean, it's hard to make that argument against that because we have seen a lot of things slide through, and it that's why I don't like this idea of like, well, we only want things to be insanely great. No, you don't. That's not what I get from the impression of the films that you get. And here's the thing, I don't expect Marvel to make everything insanely great. That's a ridiculous expectation. That's fine to hope for that, but like, I don't think you're going to meet that every time. Every character is not going to give you an insanely great story, right? Like, you usually want it to be good enough, and maybe, hopefully, you can build on it. And maybe the trilogy is really great, right? Maybe you do it that way. Every individual film ain't got to be a banger, you know, out the door. I think Blade by itself would have been, though. Oh, man. Nah, just my opinion. B, you said, nah, I still have faith in Blade. I can explain. After what Mahershala said, bro, I don't know. And you know, I've been fighting against this for so long. I've been fighting the urge, but I'm saying Marshall's moved on. This man is like, I'm no thanks. I'm good. Like, I don't see it. If you got an explanation though, brother, let me know. I don't see it. I don't know how, where. Anthony, I literally just got back from seeing Spidey again. I think it's the best Holland. The villain was one of the reasons I was asking about a spoiler vid. I think I actually missed because Brandon did just my opinions. I think he did his, but I was not able. I had to go live today, and I got a busy weekend. I actually have to work on the weekend. So I just didn't, it didn't work out for me, but go check out his spoiler video. I'm pretty sure he did a really good job with that. Let's see, Archer, what you got? That Wesley Snipes line basically killed it. I hated that line so much. I hated that line. Like, if there was never a Mahershala Ali, if there was never a announcement, that line would have been amazing. That line, I would have loved that line so much. But the fact that they threw that line in there, and it felt like a dig. Like, I remember hearing that, and I was like, why y'all gonna do that to him? Like, Ryan Reynolds, the movie, why would y'all do this to Mahershala Ali, the production of the movie? Like, why would y'all do that? I did not like it. I didn't like it. It hurt. It hurt. All right. What you got, Clarence? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm feeling like Disney does not want a black character to outshine all other characters. They didn't expect BP to be what it was. They didn't want white kids doing Blade moves like they were doing Wakanda Forever, arms crossed. Here's the thing. I can't prove that that's true or not, but I also can't deny it either. What are they actually giving to prove otherwise? Right? Like, I can't say, well, this is what Disney's thinking. I don't know what Disney or Marvel is thinking. I don't. But I can look at the actions of what they're not doing in terms of not greenlighting stuff. Like I said, y'all not beating them allegations. So when people say stuff like this, you're leaving it open. Marvel, Disney, y'all leaving the door open for this kind of criticism to hit. I can't say it, but at the same time, can't nobody really defend or fight against it either. So, sorry. The line that they were talking about was what was it? There will only be one blade, only blade. That's the line from Deadpool they were talking about. All right, we gotta go soon. Anthony, again, Funny how the black Shiro gets get problems. Monica sideline, Wonder Man canceled, Sam Wilson production problems, Secret Invasion. Oh my god, I forgot about Secret Invasion. Oh, that's how bad Secret Invasion was. Secret Invasion was so bad. I forgot about all of it. Like just all of it. Man, forgot about that too. Yeah. They're getting the short end of the stick. There we go, Mambo. There will only be one blade. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, that was it. Yes, Anthony, you did say Blade was getting canceled. You and amongst a bunch of other people, a lot of other people have said the same thing, and it is what it is. All right, quiet one. What you got? Time for us black nerds to just stick to the comics to see black representation because MCU live action ain't gonna be it for us consistently. Honestly, I think that's gonna be the case with a lot of production. Like you know what? I don't know. I feel like the older I get at this point, the more I'm just starting to realize like this world ain't for us like that. We can't rely on, and I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, we cannot rely on people that are not us, don't look like us, don't understand our lived experiences to fully represent us. It's just not a reality, right? It's just like if you are in a male dominated space, you cannot expect for the men in that space to fully encompass what it's like to be a woman or to understand women. Like it's just a social thing, right? If you don't, Nate Moore was the last, I don't want to say person of color, but he was the last black man that was in Marvel on the executive parliament. That's it. I think they have an Asian woman up there, and it's a bunch of white guys and white women. Like, I'm not expecting that group to fully grasp the black experience, black representation outside of extremes like Black Panther. And that's why I said earlier, it does feel like Black Panther eventually is becoming a token franchise rather than a true sign of representation in the right direction. So, all right, guys, that's it for me tonight. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for all the contributions. Thank you so much for your time today. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Have fun. I will not be live next week. I will be out with the fam. We got some time that we got to spend together. Hope you guys do the same. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, see you guys later. Peace.